Is hashtagging still a thing? Yes! And you'd be foolish not to use it. Let me show you how. What is the deal with hashtags? It's my terrible Seinfeld impression. Welcome to 5 Minute Social Media, where there'll never be a Seinfeld impression again. This is where we teach you how to do the best possible social media in the least amount of time possible. Hashtags, I get asked about a fair bit. And yes, they're still a thing. People tend to react when you bring up hashtags like, oh, I love them, or oh, I hate them, or what the hell are they? So let's get into hashtags and where you should be using them. You can find hashtags on almost all the social networks. I see them on LinkedIn, on Pinterest, but the two main places you should be using them are Twitter and Instagram. I use them sometimes on Facebook. That's usually just because I want the word to show up blue in a big long thing. Facebook has actually admitted to me themselves that their hashtag system is kind of buggy. Not the greatest thing in the world. So let's start with Twitter. Twitter is where hashtags were born, and you can still get more reach getting people to see your tweets that don't actually follow you by using them. Of course, Twitter is still limited to 140 characters, so you can't bombard it with hashtags, but you can throw a few in. I've also found success by having hashtags in my bio. For example, my bio, you'll see the hashtag social media, and I find that people tend to follow me after discovering me by that hashtag. The other way to take advantage is to see what hashtags are trending each day, and then you could tweet with that hashtag. If it's trending, odds are somebody has clicked on it and they're just looking to see what people are saying around that particular topic. I will say, if you're a bigger company, it can backfire. If you do a search for hashtags gone wrong, you'll find lots of stories of how hashtags got screwed up for bigger companies. If you're a smaller company, it's a little bit lower risk because people aren't paying attention quite as much. Let's move on to Instagram. This is where hashtags are huge, even though you may not see them that often because they're hidden in the comments. Getting your content seen on Instagram, even from people who are following you, has gotten tougher and tougher because Facebook has put their algorithm there. So therefore, if the content doesn't start working really quickly, they'll stop showing it to people. But you can still reach people through hashtags. For example, a lot of people love photos and videos of food, so they might browse hashtag food porn. I have two tiny humans. Sometimes they're difficult, and sometimes when I get stressed out, once I get a break, I'll go on there and check out hashtag dad life and just look for other dads that are also struggling, just to know that I'm not alone. The lesson here, use hashtags on Instagram. You can put them in the comments, the first comment of your post, instead of in the actual post, to keep them looking a little bit cleaner though. There is a limit on how many hashtags you can use. Last I heard it was 30, but Instagram does change that sometimes. But use as many as you can to get people to see your content. How do you figure out which hashtags to use? Go to Instagram and search for different hashtags. For example, I search for social media and then I see social media marketing and anything else that comes up. So other relevant hashtags, start typing them in and Instagram will show you exactly how many people are using them. Now, you should probably use some of the most popular hashtags, but keep in mind those ones are the most crowded as well. So you may want to find some that are maybe in the middle. You might find more reach that way. Finally, a time-saving tip, because that's what we do here. Save your hashtags, either in a note on your phone, or you can, if you use scheduling software like I do with Buffer, you can go ahead and save them in your content calendar. That way you can copy and paste the most basic ones, and then add specific ones for whatever that image or video happens to be. Thank you for watching 5 Minute Social Media. Take a second and subscribe so that we can continue to teach you how to do the best social media in the least amount of time possible. Got a question for me? Drop it in the comments or contact me at 5minutesocialmedia.com.